Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Angela Wren, and this is a series that I do where I document my everyday art practice and how I think about growing as an artist. So today should be day 125. But if you've been following along, you notice that I actually just didn't upload for about a week. And this kind of goes a little bit counter to a lot of what I've been talking about, at least in the early days of this series, where been talking about the importance of practicing every day, never missing days, even when I was so tired, making sure to create a video and to make sure that I put out a video. But unfortunately, last week, so a couple things kind of came together. So first of all, I have been like incredibly busy in I'm not a professional artist, so I have other work that I do, and I've been incredibly busy in that element of my life. Then I also had like a little trip that I was taking that overlapped with also work. And then on top of that, I have been feeling a little bit burned out. So the last video that I uploaded on day 124, I believe it was a speech about this idea of one step forward, or of three steps forward and two steps back, and kind of this like non-linear path to growth as an artist. And so I think what happened is, so I would say over the last, I did about 125 days, more or less, without missing a video. And on top of that, so that's 4 months worth of days. On top of that, I was always drawing on the weekends. And even on days where I was kind of missing uploading or like hesitating on uploading, I was also drawing sometimes 2 times a day, sometimes 3 hours a day, and really just kind of pushing it extremely hard. And that was, I would say, a good 6 months of that. And it's been an incredible journey. I mean, the level at which I'm drawing now, 6 months later, after all of that progress and all that practice, relative to where I was before, I mean, it's night and day. You can like, I actually should do some drawings soon of the original. Like, I want to go back into the first like 5 or 10 videos that I did and pull the references and do the drawings again from those. But just in general, the drawings are just night and day, and I've just like developed so much and changed so much. But in this, I've definitely kind of lost myself in this like process of practicing a little bit, in the sense that, I've always said that I consider myself more of a painter. All the drawing that I do is really in service of just trying to have better, more accurate paintings. But because I've been training so hard, I haven't really done much paint. I haven't done any painting actually. Just been training my eye with drawing and drawing and drawing. And on top of that, all the drawings that I've done are really like kind of I'm doing them on like non-archivable paper. I'm not really submitting to any shows, or I don't really have my eye on any shows. I haven't even really been uploading them to Instagram just because everything has felt like practice. Like I haven't really done any actual art. It's all just been for the sake of trying to improve and trying to get better, which I think is excellent, and I think it's a great use of time. But at the same time, it kind of culminated in me just really feeling like, I would use this expression, burned out last week, where I actually didn't even draw the whole week. I actually didn't even take my sketchbook with me on the trip because I felt so kind of burned out from all the practice. And I felt burned out mostly from this idea of the 3 steps forward and the 2 steps back. Because I spent all this time, made incredible progress, which is totally trackable over that 6 month period. But then I had a few days at the end there where I was drawing like very poorly. And it felt very frustrating to be so consistent for 6 months and then kind of, have this little bit of a setback or be pulled back a little bit. And unfortunately, as I've said before, and like this is something, even feeling like burned out and taking a week break, I know deep down that this is the only way forward. The only way forward is through. It's only about continuing to go forward, and just trying to think about where you'll be 6 months from now or a year from now. And eventually trying to reach that place where you're starting to do drawings that you really like, or drawings that you really enjoy. And so, it was kind of, I took the last week like kind of a guilt-free break from drawing, from doing the videos. The videos also have a kind of a component there where those also take effort. But just in general, just trying to kind of like reset myself a little bit. And so I'm right now doing this over a recording of a drawing that I actually already did about a week ago. So this is the adding value. So the last video I uploaded was the lay-in, and then this video was kind of the adding the value to that drawing. which I think went okay, but I think you can also kind of see in the finished product of that drawing a little bit about what I was talking about with this idea of like, I'm clearly making progress in my drawing, but then for some reason, like this particular drawing didn't really come out that great. And so, I really kind of felt a bit defeated, actually. I would even use the word defeated, or like held back and kind of like needing to go forward again and like reset, or, needing to reset a little bit before I could go forward. So I have that drawing playing beside me. And I even feel some resistance, to be honest, to draw again. But I am going to force myself to put down some drawings and get out the sketchbook again, and try and kind of like reconnect or find that love a little bit with drawing. There are different ways that you can kind of get out of a burnout that I think I might talk about in future videos, but I'll just kind of scan them here. So generally, like, in my opinion, this is just my experience, like when you have a burnout, the best way to kind of get out of it, first of all, take a little time, take a little space, as I just did. But you don't want to quit. You do not want to fall into the trap of taking too much time. Because if you ever do wander your way back, like if you're not so defeated that you've given up on it, you will just regret so much all the time that you spent away from drawing. So you at some point kind of have to force yourself out of a burnout if you don't come out of it naturally. And so, one of the things that I have thought about, or like one of the things that can work well, is making kind of changes to the way that you're doing your art practice. So these could be things like changing the medium, changing the subject matter that you're drawing, it's changing like the style of drawing, in the sense that like if you're drawing all in black and white and you get burned out, then maybe like start to work a little bit with color, or vice versa. Actually, I think that one of the things I really want to do in this next next week or two, is restart a painting, and do another painting, just to kind of, gauge and see a little bit more also like where I'm at and how things are with that. So hopefully that's coming actually in the near future, to have a little painting. And ideally, I would even like to submit that to an art show. There's one that I do have my eye on in New York, but I don't want to make any promises about that. So let's see. And I think I would do a self-portrait, actually, just because I recently did the self-portrait drawing. That thing came out pretty well. So I would do a self-portrait in the same style, but use using the mirror, but so same exact pose, same more or less everything, let's say, but do it in oil painting instead. So let's see. I don't want to overpromise, even though I just kind of like gave away all this information. But I think this is actually one of the ways that you can kind of unstuck yourself from one of these burnouts. So anyway, I think that's everything that I want to talk about for today. This hopefully will be a week as normal. So we just basically missed 1 week, and that's just going to be in the archives as a week where no videos went up, and then we just kind of keep moving forward and just trying to keep grow and develop as an artist. So I think, yeah, that's everything that I want to say today, and we will see each other again tomorrow for the next day.